Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tea Talk, where the topics are real, relevant, and relaxing. It's Tea Talk time, and here is Lady O.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. And I want to say hello to everybody and a special hello to those of you all that are joining us. We know a lot has been going on today, and we're so happy to see you. We have a great topic today, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things that are just going to be exciting. So don't forget to share with your friend or someone to call them up and say, hey, it's tea talk time. Don't forget. And we kind of need to work on that, on work on our followers. When you are a follower, it tells you when we're on. So if you will make sure that you use your Facebook page or whatever mode that you're using to invite someone else on the show. Okay. So we are so happy to see you there, Sister Faye Ball. All right. Let's see, are you there? All right. Good to see you. All right. Some of us are just really running right from our other meeting, which was at the church. And so we're just running a little bit right there on time. But listen, I want to go ahead and spend our time talking about our show today. What we're going to talk about today is the Women's Conference. Now, the Women's Conference was last week, but this past week. But everybody's talking about it. Oh my goodness, it's still on Facebook. It's still on all the social media platforms. I'm still getting phone calls. When people see me, they're talking about it. So we want to just kind of debrief. One of the things we like to do is after we get through with the conference, because we're working the conference, we don't get a chance to really talk and see what everybody thought or what the nugget they got from it. So much. So we have to kind of sit down and talk about that. So we're going to do today, we're going to talk about some of the nuggets. And if you are wanting the t-shirts, let's go ahead and do this before I forget. I told everybody, I said, I'm going to have them on the Tea Talk today. And then you can let me know if you want them. The way you get the t-shirts is that you go the same link that you registered for the conference. And when you go for the conference, you just put in $27. If you put in $27, we know that's for the t-shirts. It's not the registration. And so you put your information and your sizes, and we will make sure you get them. Now, look, these every year we say, oh, those t-shirts are amazing, but these t-shirts this year are really amazing. Let me show you about the front. They got the bling. And look at the lady with the lashes on. Can you see her lashes? I just love that. Now, the lady who does my t-shirts, she knows, I'm going to the right size. Hold on. She knows what I like. And so she put a little bling on those eyelashes. So on the front, it says, I am more than enough. I'm not doing too good a job here. Sorry. I am definitely more than enough. And so it's Lady O Ministries, and you can see we've got that beautiful shoe there. We are walking in victory. So that right there shows our beauty, but it also shows our femininity, and it shows our power. Those heels look powerful. I don't think I can work in those now, but I can sure put them on my t-shirt. Now on the back is where the really, really great thing is that we're talking about, okay? The back has a picture of a woman who is an Afrocentric woman, and it said, they did, so I can. Our theme was, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so all of the pioneers and the women who have gone on before us, they are listed on this back in the women's hair. So you can see there's a whole bunch of them, right? And of course, she's got the bling on her lips, on her earrings. And Philippians got our scripture on there. So it is beautiful. Now, let me read to you a couple of the names that are on here. I can't read them all. But I want you to get this t-shirt because it is a historic t-shirt. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Several reasons why it's historic. But also, it is a teaching history lesson about women and the power and and it's really Black women. There's a lot of women who've done great things in this world. But we wanted to highlight our Black women because typically the Black women don't make it to the history books, and they don't make it to all the different highlights. So we want to celebrate our own and just say we love all women, but we definitely want to celebrate our own. So just some of the names on the back of this are, of course, we have our first Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is on here. Serena Williams, Cicely Tyson, Kamala Harris, Oprah Winfrey, Dorothy P. Heights, Vanessa Williams, Shirley Chisholm, Viola Davis, Maya Angelou, Aretha Franklin, Barbara Jordan, Harriet Tubman, Sheila Jackson Lee, who is our own Congresswoman. And of course, I'm on here too, Dr. Evelyn Ogletree. And you need to celebrate yourself. And so they put my name on there, and I thought, well, that shouldn't be on there. But then I thought, well, why not? I've done some great things too. Then Stacey Abrams, okay, Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. So there's a whole Patti LaBelle. I can't read them all, but all of these names are on here. So this will be a conversation piece for women when we get together. And then also it will be a conversation piece for you to teach your daughters. Think about building their self-esteem by looking at women that they know and researching what did they do. It's a history lesson. So it is something you definitely want to get for Deborah Frederick to keep our Black history alive. Yeah, if we don't keep it alive, who will? So to tell our children about it. So want to make sure that you get one for not only your daughters, your nieces, and your little cousins, but for Christmas presents, for birthday presents. This is something that is going to really build their self-esteem and let them know who they are. And when I think about this, like have it for my granddaughters, I want them to know that the shoulders that they stand on have been great. But the reason why these ladies came and did and sacrificed, and I will tell them the story about it, so that you too know that you can do it. You can do these things. So, and that's what we talked about. I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. And then on the back it said, they did it, so I can. So because of that. So anyway, put your orders in for this, and we have some smalls for the kids, for the little girls, and some mediums for teenagers, whatever size you have. And we still have a few 2Xs and 3Xs. So you make sure you get yours right away because they're going very fast. All right. Now, so the t-shirts, like I was telling, is very historic because not only did we have the t-shirt, but on the back of there, we had one of the ladies on there come to be a part of our conference. And that is historic in itself. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee came to be a guest at our conference. And she came as family because we've known her for so many years, and we wanted to honor her. We had some wonderful things we honored her with, but she honored us by not just receiving the gifts, but she wanted to sit down and relax and talk to us just like we were family. And that's what we did. She challenged us. She told us what's going on, and put a little fire up under us to tell us, this is what I need you to do. And I think the gist of the whole thing, we're going to talk about her first, and then we'll talk about all the other different guests. So I have my team with here, my wonderful, amazing team. And I want to ask them what they kind of got from Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. What do you think her theme was when she was talking to us women?
I think her theme was to be aware, and not just aware, but get involved.
Be aware and get involved. Very good. Very good.
Organize.
Organize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just don't be upset about things. Organize and take action and vote.
Very good.
Yeah, I like what she said, to really vote, because that's important. And she stressed how important it was for us to do that.
Right.
Especially as women.
Exactly. Anybody else? What else is there? Let's see. Okay. So let me tell you, you're absolutely right. And I think what she was saying, what I heard her say too, is that I have done a lot. And she showed us papers and stacks of bills she's put into, the Congress, and a lot of them they haven't passed. But she said, I'm working to put those things in there to help my people. And she said, I need my people to learn what I have done. Don't ask, what is she doing? You go learn. If you can go online and look at all the bills she's passed, all the work she's doing, the different places that she goes and she shows up, that other people want our votes, but they don't show up when we ask them to come to our churches, to our events and different things. And she's always going to do her best to do that. So she said, I want you to make my vision that I'm working on come to reality. I can't do it by myself. I need you all to vote. I need you to pray. And I also need you to organize and make these things come to help me.
Yeah.
I'm passing the baton. In so many words, I heard her say, you know, I'm trying to pass this on to the next generations. I'm doing a lot, but don't let my work be for naught.
Right.
But I thought it was really, really great. And we were just so honored to have her come to say yes to our invitation to come and to actually show up. And we were really, really excited. I think all the women were still talking about that. So we had a lot of other guests here. So we're going to go to some pictures first, or what we want to do, guys?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's look at our pictures.
Okay, we took a lot of pictures. We were all
pictures.
So let's see. What is this a picture of? This is 2022. I am definitely more than enough. I'll start off with me. Yeah. You know, I want to say too, because Q was responsible for getting all those balloons together like that. And Tisha put my picture back there because I didn't see it till I came out, and I was like, yes, I got to take a picture. I am definitely more than enough. Okay, very good. Go to the next one. Unless somebody wants to say anything about that one. Can we go to the next picture? Oh, all right. There's Dr. Q and Dr. Jenna Lynn. Oh my goodness, she was really cool. Okay, I'm not going to start. Somebody else start. What did she bring to the conference that you remember that impacted you?
I enjoyed when she talked about, well, it was so much, but seeing yourself from afar, like not as you are today. And I love the way she brought in the color purple and how Celie was looking for her sister when she came back. She saw her, and you know how God sees us. Yeah, it was very powerful. Yeah, she was great.
What she was saying with that afar off, you know, she had been dreaming and writing letters and wanting to get there.
And to her sister.
Yeah, she was saying for us as women, we have to start doing something, writing letters, you know, moving out on whatever it is our dream is. And then when you get close, you got to keep looking for that dream to come to reality. And she said, you got to see yourself where afar off, not where you are right now, but what you shall become. Somebody else?
I think the important thing about, and I really enjoyed her, and I think the important thing about seeing yourself from afar off is if we're not careful, we'll stew in that where we are right now, and we'll become defeated. But when you hear those words of looking afar off, it's encouragement for us, because some of us have been in the same place for a long time, and you're wondering, when is that afar off going to get nearer? So it was so encouraging to hear that, because she reminded us that it is something, maybe God has you in there a little bit longer to have you go through something, but it's coming. It's on the way.
It's coming. Yeah, it's on the way.
Well, you know, she really challenged me, because I mean, there's a lot, like you said, some of us are stuck, and I judge it by the COVID. You know, when COVID came, you know, I went on right away, and God told me to start writing that book. You should be able to finish it since you're locked in. Start doing this. And so what happened was I got so busy doing a whole bunch of other things that were good things, but they became a distraction, and I did not take the time to do that. And so you got to see yourself afar off. And someone said, just was Tisha and Cheryl said, keep your head up, you know, don't look down. You can't see afar off if your head is down. She said, keep yourself physically fit and your chin up and look across the room and tell another woman you can do it too. That's another thing I really liked about her. Her book, I started reading it. It's like a meditation by daily meditation. And one of the things I read in the front and the back, she said, queens see queens. I was like, what is she talking about? Queens see queens. But I should be able to see the queen in you.
Right.
And you should be able to see the queen in me. And we celebrate our queenship. Your queenship may not be like mine, but you're still a queen. You're just queen over whatever. So I really like that she called us queens. That told me that we are very important. And I just like the way she pulled in that color purple in with that scripture, and made us feel like we can do all things. And if we keep our head up and keep looking, I kept doing this too, kept looking in the horizon. What do you think you're going to, and she had us write too. And that was something I was a little bit uncomfortable with. Were y'all uncomfortable with that? Remember, she said, write down what it is that you feel that God is calling you to do. Y'all didn't do that?
Yeah, I did it. I wasn't uncomfortable writing it. I was uncomfortable sharing it because remember she wanted us to share it.
Yeah, that was the first thing. She said, write it.
Yeah.
You're right. I wasn't uncomfortable writing it. I was actually uncomfortable when she said, now share that with your neighbor. And I'm like,
yeah, I was like, uh-oh, I don't want to do that.
And Quinita was there too. Quinita and when I were the only ones left at the table, and Quinita was like looking off in space. She didn't want to share either, But eventually we just kind of slid it over and said, be obedient. And like Pastor Johnny said it in his message for the second service, you got to trust the person that God puts in your life.
Yeah.
And so we like, I'm going to trust her. She don't know no more than I do. No, if God put that person in your life, you need to trust them that they can help you accomplish whatever. So Tisha said, I shared a list of stuff. She just shared stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we're afraid to share with other women because women have always been our worst enemy sometime. And I think we're afraid to share with them because, well, what are they going to say about me? What are they going to think about me? What are they going to say about what I feel?
Yeah.
And I think because sometimes we don't support each other. And like everybody was saying, that whole conference, we have to support each other as women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead, Tracy.
And I think sometimes being vulnerable with somebody that you don't really know.
Yeah.
You're thinking now, is this going to stay with us?
Okay.
Yeah.
How far is this going to go? Yeah, but you start learning through being obedient. And I know that the person that I was next to, we created a connection. Matter of fact, she checked on me all week, and it was just beautiful because she helped me through that process.
Wow.
You know what God will do. I mean, you have to get naked and just say, you know what, I'm gonna be obedient and just do what I'm asked, and let God work.
Wow.
Yep, let God work. I was fortunate to be sitting next to my friend that I invited. And we have been in counseling sessions before. So we looked at each other. We were like, oh, we've done this before. We're okay. So it was easy for us to share, easier for me to share with her than it would have been to share with somebody that I've met at church and been to Bible study with, or being in like on committees together, but not really sharing deep level things. But I felt okay sharing with her and likewise with me. But it was still a little and unsettling being vulnerable, I think.
Right. I'm trying to look at my notes over here. Somebody said earlier, and they kind of scrolled down real fast, that we're afraid of being the person judging us. And I keep hearing this word a lot, judging us. And my granddaughter told me, Nana, you're judging me. And she just kept saying that. And finally I said, I am not judging you. I said, I am giving wise counsel. I said, judging is when someone, says, you're not going to be this, you can't do this. But to say, give you some options to choose from, that's not judging you.
That's not judging.
Like, for instance, I want to go to the fair. And you say, well, wait a minute now. There might be some dangerous things there. Have you considered, this? Have you considered that? And she thinks I'm judging because I did not accept her answer as being the final thing. I said, let me give you some options. That was an example I was giving. That's not what she asked me. But she kept saying this thing about judgmental. But I know that young people are very, very particular about you judging them. And I think the word she really was trying to say is that I'm not trusting her judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference in being judgmental. Judgment is pronouncing, damnation or saying no or whatever. But to give counsel is to, I think it's what we need in other people. So why do y'all think people are uncomfortable? Because in my case, I know Cornita. I've been knowing Cornita forever. She's in my family. But I still did not feel comfortable enough when she said, now share with your neighbor. I was like, why do I feel that way? And I know her. That says something about women. Go ahead. Somebody said it a minute ago. Go ahead.
And I'm just going to speak especially for Black women. We are expected to be strong. We are expected to always show strength. And I did a conference with some of my students a few years ago, and I put on there, I don't wear S on my shirt. I don't. And they kind of were shocked. Well, why would you say that? Because society thinks we're super women. We want to always live up to that. And the thing is, I try to express to people is it's okay to have moments of I need some help or I can't do. So you can wear the S on your chest, but just understand that don't always see yourself as you got to save everybody or I can't struggle. Because you get strong by having a network in a group of. I mean, my mentors and the women that are important to my life and have kept me up. That's the reason why I am strong. I needed some help.
Tracy, you just said a really, really important thing. We get stronger by having a network of people. And someone said it in the conference this week, iron sharpens iron, that you get around some other people, then you can sharpen yourself. But if you're just by yourself, you'll become dull by yourself. But that was Tisha and who was that? Deborah. Deborah's the one that said that they're giving some good little nuggets over here. And one of the things that Tisha said was, you feel like they won't be able to relate to you, or they may think it's silly or it's stupid, or you can't do that. Like you said, if I had written down, I want to become president of Gulf Oil, well, that might be something that's unattainable. Somebody might say, well, now, lady, that's something. You sure you want to be the president of that? So I get it. So sometimes we need to put those out there so people can sharpen us and say, maybe you want to own a gas station. Maybe is that what you want? I don't know. But I thought that was really good. I could really relate to what she was saying with Celie and the brother and the sister and the things that was happening to her as a young woman, a young girl. And we all, I thought that was something, she didn't bring it out so much, but you could just see it as she revealed the story, that those girls in that picture represented us from, girlhood on up to adulthood, and the things that happen to women all the way from, I think, being raped, being told you so ugly, to separating you and pitting you against your relative and so forth, and even deceiving you, hiding things from you, and putting you in a position where you're having to raise somebody else's kid. I mean, the situations that women have been put in, I think all those things were related in that story. And so what she did was to say, you got to see yourself out of that story. Did anybody get that?
Yeah.
To the point that the journals I gave y'all, that's the reason I gave them to you. You've got to write down where you are now and where do you want to be. And I think that's why I liked her challenge so much. I wasn't comfortable, but it started me to writing, because I would never have written that down. So and what was the thing she said afterwards? She said, okay, share with your neighbor. And then what was the last thing we were supposed to do with that?
Okay, we shared it. I don't remember.
Maybe there was nothing else. I think that maybe I took that on myself to say, now what am I going to do with this? I've written it down. I've shared it with somebody. I think she said something, or I took it up, that you need to get an accountability.
What is blocking you? Somebody just put that in the chat. What is
Pastor
blocking
Johnny.
you?
Pastor Johnny said the last thing she said was, "What is blocking you?"
What is blocking you? Right. So what kind of things do you think that women would say that would be blocking them?
Fear.
Just fear is the number one. That's why the thing that says, I can do all things. Even though we say that, we still have that fear and intimidation, insecurity, money, time. But I said for me, I said distractions. I have so many distractions. So that means I'm going to have to. And Deborah Frederick says shame.
Yeah.
Anybody else have something else you want to share?
Yeah. Not feeling worthy enough.
Not feeling like I'm worthy enough, like I can really do this. I mean, that I want to be president, but I don't feel like I'm really worthy enough. Tisha said, no faith. You just have faith in yourself and faith in others that they can help you. So number one is no faith in yourself. And then with people coming, you don't have faith enough to let them help you. Feeling inadequate. Oh, that's a good one. I just don't feel like I'm really worthy of this. I don't feel like I can do this. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not, all of those kind of things. I don't have enough money. I don't have a good husband. I don't have a family. All of those things are things. Yeah. I'm not married. I'm divorced. I'm single. I've never had a man, never felt love. I mean, there's so many things that we as women, I'm not educated enough, yeah. And that's what Deborah Frederick just said. I'm not as educated as everybody else. She got a PhD. I only have a high school diploma. So I'm not smart enough. Y'all remember that show? I really love it when she said, "You is smart." Viola Davis, she didn't have any education, but she knew what she was. You is kind. You is
special.
You is special. So here she was. She didn't have an education, but her self-esteem was such that she wanted to pour into this little girl to say, and really what I felt like she was saying was that you got a chance. I don't have a chance to do it. I'm a maid, I'm black, I'm da-da-da. But she said, but you little white girl, you is special. You is kind. So you can do better than your mother and all the people in your, whatever. Okay, so that's really good. Let's move on. We got so many to talk about. Did anybody else have anything else to share with that, or are we moving on?
Yeah, we can move on to the next.
Okay, so we have next. Let's see the slide.
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Okay, that's Sheila Jackson Lee. We were having our discussion. Okay. And I love the decorations on there. I hadn't really talked about that much, but Etta Ford and of course, I think Tisha was in on all of it. She and her team or whatever. That fabric was flowing down. And that's when I look back and I said that conversation and love was just flowing down from that pulpit from her. And we already talked about her. Did anybody else have anything else they want to say? Got so many other people to talk about. Let's move on then, because we talked about
Kim Roxy.
Oh, the look here. Every time she says, hello, beautiful.
Hello.
But that's a part of her message to give to the woman that you are beautiful. I thought I was special at first, but I realized she says it to everybody.
I like the way she kept saying, wake up, beautiful.
Yeah.
Wake up, beautiful. Yeah.
And what was she trying to
yourself
say?
That in the mirror in the morning. Wake up, beautiful.
Wake up, beautiful. Anybody else get anything else?
Oh, remember, Lady O, when she said, beauty is revealed, not applied?
Woo, that got me.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah.
That was
I like how she was talking to us, but then if there were any younger girls in there, no matter where you came from, no matter what you did. Because like she said, I was a product of the alternative school or something.
She dropped out. She was kicked out of high school.
She kicked out of high school. Yeah. And then look at where, what I did now. I worked hard for it.
She kept seeing herself afar off. She didn't see herself that little girl that got kicked out of school. But I thought it was so great that she would be so transparent enough to tell us that she got kicked out of school. Okay. and that she had to go to an alternative school. So she was
Mhm.
something else. Okay. And Deborah said, she said, we have to see our own beauty. You know, you got to see yourself as beautiful. Look in the mirror and see what your beauty is. We can't compare ourselves to different skin colors or different hair lengths, or we were growing up, if you got good hair or bad hair, I don't know
Mhm.
if y'all still say that today, but back in the day we did say, girl, she got some bad hair.
Yep.
She got good hair, that great
Good hair, bad hair.
good hair, bare hair. And back in the day too, and I think it still has a little stigma there on both sides. People that are dark, sometimes they are
Mhm.
intimidated by light skinned people, and sometimes they get really mean with light skinned people that are really nice. And then you got
Mm-hmm.
some light skinned people that think they're better, and they treat other people that are darker less than. But what I see most of the time is it's really not like that. People don't treat each other like that, but because of the way they were raised, sometimes darker skinned kids have that, that thing of thinking, I'm not enough.
Exactly.
I'm too
Mhm.
dark. And so then whenever they talk to other people, it comes out,
Mhm.
whether that's really not the case or not. Do y'all ever see that?
And was raised in New Orleans, and that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you were lighter,
Mm-hmm.
you were treated better.
That's right. Yeah. And so you think about the stigma that kids have, even though they grow older and people start to treat them well, and they're not treating them like that, but still in the back of their mind.
It's still
um
there.
my In my family, there was a saying, not my family didn't say it, but in my the community, they would say, and I don't know if it was a song or what, said, if you're white, you're right.
You're right. Hmm.
Black, get back.
Get back. I remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I
I was like,
remember
what
that
in the
too.
world? Yeah. So it was a negative thing that I still remember. I don't remember who said it, but it was just kind of
Mhm.
assumed like that. All right,
Yeah,
let's go to our next. Anybody else have anything about Kim Roxas? She was amazing.
she was. And I had an opportunity to get a makeover with
Yes.
her a few weeks ago. And when she's
So
talking to
cute.
you, you leave feeling so amazing. You just feel
Right.
so, not
Mm,
just because of the makeup,
right.
Yeah.
not just because of that, because she's really pouring into your soul.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's
And
actually saying, "Wake up, beautiful." She's
yeah,
waking up your skin. Because she's like an artist. She's painting
yeah,
it like she steps back, and as she's talking to you, she's actually saying, "Wake up, beautiful."
yeah,
Mm.
And you
yeah.
did look beautiful after she got through with you. I look beautiful too.
Yes, you did, Tracy.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm
She
gonna
did
have to
an
go
awesome
do a
job.
makeover
But
with her too.
yeah,
I
she
told her, I
really
said, I got to
did.
come back another time where I can actually get my prescription
Yeah,
that
Mhm.
fits my skin color, because she did really good on
the
mine.
products. Yeah, your makeup was pretty Saturday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we got to visit her. And I think every Friday night she has a show on Facebook Live, and she gets beauty tips. I'm going to have to check it
Hmm.
out. I think I have done it one time, but I need to check it out again. But she's just
I
an
did
amazing
too.
person.
Yeah,
I've looked at
we
it a
can
couple times.
make that one a tea talk show. Go visit her.
That's what we'll do. We'll
Oh
do that.
That would
yeah,
be nice.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
that would be good.
All right. And listen, the Alzheimer's lady, Kayla Rogers, she
Mm-hmm.
was so informative. I was glued to the screen because the things that
Mhm.
she was sharing with us, we need to know about taking care of the healthy body, the mind. And that's what this whole conference was about. When you get through, it was thinking, we kept talking to the mind, whether it was with Sheila Jackson Lee, and what are you thinking socially, and trying to get your votes to count and that kind of thing. If you were even talking with Dr. Jenna Lynn, she was talking about that mind. What do you see yourself? And it starts in the mind. And wake up beautiful. Do you see yourself beautiful? So when we got to the Alzheimer's thing, this has affected so many of our friends. Did anybody get anything particularly you want to say out of that? She was just wonderful.
I like when she talked about tips for a healthy brain, things that we can do to keep our brains healthy.
Mhm.
She
I thought
did.
that was very helpful.
Yeah.
Things that we can do now as opposed to just saying, "Oh, my mother had Alzheimer's, I'm gonna have it."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just think
Yeah.
about things that we can do for
Mhm.
ourselves to help ourselves.
Because she said you don't, it does not necessarily mean that you're going to get it because your mother or father got it.
It's not
A lot of it, she
hereditary.
said, is cultural because you're eating the same thing your mother did, and you
Mhm.
got the same stressors and those kind of things. Then that behavior that you learned kind of leads to it. But
Mhm.
I like that she said that there's a test because we all lose our keys. I can't think of somebody's name, and the first thing saying me trying, girl, look like you got Alzheimer's. No,
Right.
it's just a lot on my brain. So therefore, and I'm getting older, so I can't remember everything. But she said there's a natural aging process that has nothing to do with dementia. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. So that was the Alzheimer's one. And then Angela Martin Greer, I had to leave out because I had an emergency I had to take care of. But the panel, how was the panel?
I missed part of the panel too. I saw the beginning, but I didn't see all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the things that I was glad that I had seen them on Talk the week before, or a couple weeks before, because
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that I heard were some of the things that we discussed on Talk.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I wasn't so feeling so bad because I had talked to them before and I've seen on TikTok a lot of the things that say, and they're so important talking about voting. Your vote matters, making your vote count. And it all comes with getting informed and educated. And that's what they did. They informed us and educated us on the upcoming races in Texas. Who's running for what, how it impacts us. And if we don't make a change, we're going to be in for a very rude awakening, and that we'll be stuck in for the next 10 years. Rarely does it come that we can vote on our governor and our lieutenant governor and those people where they're up to be voted on. And so that team was really stressing that we need to do that. Okay, let's move it on. Let's go to, unless anybody had anything to say about that one. I think we've talked about that a lot. Let's go to Dr. Q. Oh, there's our team. There's our team right there, our planning team. And so we're at we always take a picture together and we look beautiful, don't we, y'all?
Yeah.
I'm loving
I
that.
think that's
I love
that's
those
everybody,
colors.
Lady O. That's everybody at the
That wanted to take a
church.
picture.
I
Okay.
think the next one is the planning team, Pastor Johnny.
Okay.
Yes, see, that's the planning team.
And that's the planning team there. Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
We always let some of the other people, choir members, whoever has a T-shirt on, they can come and get in the picture. And those little scarves were from Thrive, gave us those little scarves in a black bag.
They
And
were perfect. That little scarf.
perfect.
I like that little scarf.
I was trying to figure out how we're going to use all of this, but you know what? I just prayed about it. God said, tell them, do not leave those scarves at home tomorrow. We're going to use those. And they were so perfect. And even the lighting, look at the lighting in the back. Because it wasn't purple. I call it a Kool-Aid grape.
Oh, okay.
If you've ever been in the projects of poor, you know what Kool-Aid grape is, okay? And because we didn't have sodas except for on special occasions, but we always had Kool-Aid. Every day we'd have our salami sandwiches, pressed ham sandwiches, and we'd have chips and we'd have Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And okay, let's go on to because we got to get moving here. We got a lot. Oh my God. Let's go, Dr. Q and my grandbaby, Adea. They have the tent up there and they did like a little fireside chat about.
I love that one.
That was good. What did y'all think about what this young lady was saying about what they want us to know?
I enjoyed listening to her. It made me think, even as my kids are older, and I started thinking, wow, did I do that? Did I stifle them sometime or trying to solve their problem instead of listening to them? And it made me think about a lot. I thought they were excellent.
Yeah. And I think the thing that I got from it, and I missed part of it, and it was so reflective for me because we in our minds we're saying, oh, my son or my child knows I love them. But do we really just come here and just hug them and say, you matter and I love you?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And that was the last thing she said. Tell your kids you love them.
Yeah. Tell your kids, touch them, hug them. And that was, I think, one of the most powerful things she said. Hug them, tell them that, because you think they know it, but they need to hear it.
Yeah.
And they also need you to listen to them without judging them, or without uh, interrupting and saying. One thing she said, well, when we want to talk to y'all, you said that's grown folks' business. You don't want to talk about it, but we still have to listen to them and allow them that safe space to talk. But they were great. I love the whole setup, and everything. Okay, Michelle Harden. Oh my God, what did y'all think about her? I already said my little say, but she is, y'all. I'll start talking. Anybody want to talk?
I missed part of hers because I had to walk out, so I missed it.
I had an opportunity to go to the marriage conference they did a few months ago.
Right.
And they have a phenomenal testimony of, I call it the rags to riches story.
Yeah.
Of basically losing everything and now being able to minister to help couples.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan don't like people staying together, so that's a very needed ministry, and they're doing it. So I was just inspired to hear them, that she and her husband are traveling around the world, around the nation, saving marriages.
Yeah, and the thing about her, look, I've known Michelle for so long, so I've known all the different endeavors and things she's done. She and her husband, they've done a lot of different things, and the thing that she said starting off is, don't try to do somebody else's dream, somebody else's assignment. That's not your assignment. I know you may be good at it, but that's not your assignment. Be content in what God called you to do. At the very beginning, God called her to work with pastors, and we used to all work together, and she kind of got off on some other stuff, and that was not hers, but she was, very successful. And then she ended up and lost everything. That's what got me. She lost everything, and she ended up living in a hotel. Was it 7 months? It was a long time. And can you imagine going? She said her house, they lost their house, and they could only take suitcases of stuff because they were going to a hotel. So they had to leave all their furniture, all their other stuff, pots and pans, just leave it, because they lost their house. Now, that got me, because I have always pretty much had a house. And to think about me losing it and having to walk out of my house with nothing but my clothes and my toiletries, and go to a hotel, turn my back on in it. How long it takes you to get all that stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
And so for her to go to not to a rent house, but to go to a hotel. I think she did finally end up having to stay with some people that helped her out in her church, because it's very expensive to live in a hotel. So she did do that. But the fact that God brought this other ministry to her, and she found out about it, she started working in it. Now she's traveling all over, helping pastors with their ministry through, oh Lord, let me get the name of it right, because I don't want to get it wrong. But she has been on staff with them. It's called In Peace. And I want to say that because they became one of our sponsors, and she was a part of the packet to come and talk to us. So In Peace, it's like, Johnny would have to tell you exactly, because I don't want to get it wrong, but it's like a app that churches can use that brings them into a modern day of doing stuff that they spent years learning to do, a whole lot of things trying to do. Now it's one little app that does all these things and helps your ministry to grow and to communicate and get stuff out there. She's going to the different churches over and helping churches do that. And they got her on staff now. So now she's back helping pastors and churches. And she doesn't have to worry about money, and she's traveling all over, and they're paying for it, and she's good. She's really good at it. So I really wanted to thank her for being transparent, because that helps somebody there we don't even know. And I didn't even know this, but sometimes we've had people at our church, and Johnny knows some of these ladies, and later on they'll tell us that they were homeless when they first came to First Met. And one in particular said she and her son used to sleep on our parking lot in the car. Oh. We didn't even know it. And when she came to church on Sunday, she was nice and clean. So was her son. I think she had a son and a daughter. But anyway, there were a couple of them, and they said that they felt safe, sleeping on our parking lot. And when she eventually got, a place to live, she never asked us for a dime. She never told us she was sleeping in the parking lot. She told us that after she had gotten a place to live and that her son, they were doing well. So you never know.
Never know.
You never know. I met a person once before that they would sleep in their cars in the park. And in the morning, they would go to the different, places and wash up. And the kids would come to school. She'd drop them off at school like they've been whatever. But those kids have been sleeping in the car. So as a counselor, Tracy, I'm sure you've probably seen some too. That's why I heard this one. We were on them because they were coming to school late every day. Why are you late every day? Well, they were sleeping in their car and they were having to go to the restroom, and some restrooms would not let them in. So they had to clean up before they came. So anyway, but Michelle was really amazing at the message that she gave to us. And even with her husband, and she has so many testimonies, but her husband was incarcerated. And when he came out, she said, incarcerated people have a problem getting a job when they get out. So she said, well, you're going to be, it wasn't the announcer, you're going to be in this company that I have. So they started a company together when he got out. And that's what they've done. So you see, he was there too. And he took pictures. Randy's a wonderful person. And I tell you what, they are a good power couple. Let's go. We're running out of time. We don't want to miss our Dr. Pamela Ogletree.
Dr. Pam, yes.
Okay, Dr. Pamela Ogletree. Oh boy, she came behind Sheila Jackson Lee and she closed it out. What did y'all get from her? What kind of nuggets?
Love all of you. From the bottom to the top, the lips, the hips, the hair, the
30 pounds extra and everything.
The extra pounds, the little pounds. Every piece of you gotta love it.
That's good. Anybody else?
I liked when she said, and it really really impacted me. She said, everything that happens to you happens in your body. So if you have
go ahead.
Yeah, if you have any trauma, it happened to you and you have to process it. It doesn't go away. You hold it and you have to process it. So that was very powerful for me.
Right.
To think about that. I'm like, oh wow, that's really,
she was getting really deep with that, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's important to understand that so then you can deal with it as opposed to stuffing it or thinking it's going to go away. It's going to go away because it's not. So that was powerful for me. And I like the way she said that, healing is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Yeah. So that along with loving all of you. Yeah, I loved her. She was amazing.
Yeah. And I like that she closed it out. You got all this stuff, you want to do, and they telling you, do this, do that. You can do this, you can do this, you can do all things. But she said, hey, it's a process. She said this it was a build up over time that's happened. And I think she used that as an example. Somebody said it's a build up of not processing it. You know how things come and you don't process it. It just keeps building up. And then you look up and 10 years later, it's like, what in the world happened?
Yeah.
Where did time go? Or the thing that I think she was saying was too, that we want to get over it really fast. But you can't. It's a process.
You can't.
You can't. You got to process this thing. So the thing I think also too, she talked about that really, really, I think was really freeing for us as women, as Black women, is talking about having a counselor. Going to see a mental health. She talked about the difference between, let me get it right, mental health and mental wellness.
Wellness.
Yeah, mental health, mental wellness. I was like, what? But she talked about how we've got to really take care of our mind first. We got to take care of that mind. All that stuff you're planning to do, it's been building up in your mind, your emotions and all that stuff. If you don't process it, it comes out in the way you act, the way you talk, the way you think. So you want to say, I can do all things, but you got all this buildup.
Mhm.
That you haven't processed. Yeah.
You haven't processed. You think you're
or
going to go somewhere.
that you're masking things,
Mhm.
and you're not processing them. So it's like you're double talking.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
You're
But
saying I can do all things, but in your mind you don't think that.
You
you
don't
don't
believe
think
it.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Because I think a lot of
the buildup has been that I can't do it. I'm too
Mhm.
this, I'm too that. And she said, you got to love all of you. And so that's a process of loving. I remember when I was a little girl, I had some family members who made fun of my lips. And now that I'm older, I have beautiful lips. But when I was younger, I would try to bite my lips. I try to hide them. And what it was is that they would chafe. And so I had this stigma against my lips. And I had to learn to love my lips. And I think my daughter did too, because she has my lips and her dad's lips. So she has really thick lips, right? So but it had built up into me that was an ugly thing about me. And that's on the front of your face. Anybody else think about the buildup? Did you go back and think about how to process the buildup in your mind? Anybody want to share? Y'all don't want to share? Y'all in your journals, and we have our debriefing. Y'all got to start sharing some stuff. But Tisha said it does start with prayer and asking God to talk to you. But I think for me, I think I'm going to share this part of it. I think as a woman in leadership, I think the buildup for me, even from a little girl, is that women cannot be the leader. You have to be the followers. You have to wait to get permission. You have to get approval, all these things. So, um, to me, sometimes those things have been distractions from me doing what God called me to do. I can do these things. And I wrote down, now, y'all know I write. And that was one of the things I wrote down with Quinita that I shared. I want to write books. I have started so many books, but I don't finish them. Why is it I don't finish them? Because I get so busy. Tisha just said women can do so much, but we end up doing so much that we forget what it is we need to do,
Mhm.
like writing that book. So I put that as, I didn't put on all of them, but I said I'm definitely going to finish writing that book. So that next year, as y'all can hold me accountable, God has already given me a whole lot for the conference next year. And one of them is to get that book written and market me. I said that from the pulpit. I said, so and so has a table and so and so has books. And I said, oh, by the way, I have books too. I have a book. I have, some things on my table, but I don't, uh, what do you say? Start pulling everyone out of position. Okay. So I don't market myself easy. I like marketing everybody else. I like to help this ministry. I like to help this woman, help this new entrepreneur, but I don't think about me. So this year I'm going to really listen to God and see if I can not just be superwoman and to get everybody else together and forget about me. And I think of that as I thought of it as growing up as being selfish. If you just want to do everything for yourself. But I said, no, I'm not like that. I don't want to do everything for myself, but I want to hear what God has that he wants me to do. And I want to hear him clearly. And I know one is writing these books that he's given me. So I'm definitely going to do that. Um, Anybody else have anything to say? We have another picture. Did we get all our pictures out? Because I was going to say one of
there
it.
were a few more, just a
Okay.
couple.
Let's go ahead and show the pictures right quick. And because it's time for us to close off, and then we'll just kind of close it up. Tracy, I know you have to go. Okay.
I took this because I love the decorations. This was on the head table radio, the floral arrangement.
Yeah, that Etta Faye, she can really
pretty.
decorate. She is
Yeah.
when I give her my concept, she said, give me your colors, and she just goes crazy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
And the bags.
Oh yeah, we got the
And the
bags,
tablecloth.
and the tablecloth and the runners, and
Oh,
Oh,
and
look
that's
at
my
that.
friend. That's my
Oh,
friend
yeah,
that I
that's what
invited. And
oh,
she
she's
came.
cute.
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
her name is Shelly too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Are those all
Okay.
the pictures? Okay, and that's
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 Dr. Pam.
okay.
Oh, and this is Nikita's
Oh,
mom, and she was talking to Sheila Jackson Lee when she was leaving, because Sheila Jackson Lee was in the foyer taking a lot of pictures,
uh-huh.
and Nikita's mom had gone to the restroom, and on her way back in, she stopped to talk
She
to her.
stopped to speak to her.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sister Gail said we were taught in the conference to put ourselves first. That doesn't mean that we are selfish. It's about
Yep.
self-care. Do you care about yourself? And so I really love that. I want to just give a shout out to everybody. Did a great job. Sister Babbins. I mean, so many people just came out of their shell. And Sister Flair, not Sister Flair, Sister Deborah Frederick, we really missed you this year. And we missed your massages too. And sis, but you know what? When you can't do it, it gives somebody else an opportunity. I had never would have known that Sister Babbins could do corsages. She did a beautiful job. They were really, really pretty. So, but we missed you. And also Sister QT, want to give a shout out to her. We missed her. She became ill and did such a great job with all of our different donations and sponsors and things like that. So women, we are more than enough. And so this conference just shows it. Now listen, what I want to say as we're closing out is women, don't miss the next conferences. They are so important. I left on the mountaintop. I have a lot of processing to do in my journal about what it is God wants me to do from this. Don't let all of this go for naught. We had a lot that God poured into us through his women. So we're going to take it and we're going to care about ourselves and we're going to do an amazing job because what? We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, and we are definitely more than enough. Listen, our time is up. I've had a joy talking to you about the conference. Don't forget to get your t-shirts, and I'll see you next Sunday at 3 for Tea with Lady O. Bye-bye.